ShopGearNetwork.com.
The following is a presentation of the Gear Radio Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, this podcast is sponsored by our store through Amazon. If you visit ShopGear.com, please remember to do that, because when you do, you provide gasoline to the engine known as Gear Radio Network, and that helps this podcast continue. It is the best way to shop for yourself, and is the best way to support this podcast. Now, on with the show.
I am the greatest. The greatest.
JC Money.
From the Gear Network Studios, it's the JC Money Podcast with your host, John Cimino, a.k.a. JC Money. And now, here's John.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hello, how's it going? Hey, hi, and Merry Christmas. Thank you, Donald Trump, for bringing Christmas back. Now I feel so great. I feel so happy I could say, Brandon, Merry Christmas to all.
MAGA.
Welcome, everybody.
That's the new Mazel Tov is MAGA.
MAGA, that's
MAGA.
right. MAGA.
High-five each other in the hallways.
Well, you know what? The simulcast last week did so nice. Brandon, we got to do it twice. So we're going to do a simulcast again this week. The JC Money Show and Football Talk Weekly simulcast. We are together again. Hello, everyone. My name is John Cimino at DJC Money on the Twitter. Joined by my co-host, my eyesore, Mr. Brandon Guerrero. Brandon, say hello.
Hello.
And as always, we are brought to you by ShopGear.com. It's a little too late for you to go ahead and order from ShopGear.com to have it delivered before Christmas, but hey.
Literally, like, if you were listening to this live, you could.
You probably could.
Tonight is Thursday, and I was actually looking to ship something for Sunday, but I was like, nah.
Yeah, no.
It would have came here Sunday, though.
It would have. But hey, you could still shop there and save, and have it delivered right to your door.
I got a great special offer the other day.
That wonderful after-Christmas present, but which I'm going to treat myself to a bunch of after-Christmas presents. But
I bought myself one pre-Christmas off of Amazon. Bought that Mel Brooks collection.
Yes, you were telling me about that.
So good.
And,
so good.
And speaking of Christmas presents, B Grills with the hookup.
Yeah.
He got the look, man. He got the holy shit from me.
Yep.
He comes out here and he says, "Hey, do you want your Christmas present now or after Christmas?" And I'm like, "Oh shit, I didn't know we were buying. I didn't buy anything." And he says, I didn't buy to, have something bought for me. If that were the case, I'd just buy something for myself. I said, okay, fair enough.
That's the purpose of gift giving, that people get lost. Like,
yes.
I always hear that same thing from a lot of people. You're not the only one. When you buy somebody a gift unexpectedly and they're like, "Oh, I didn't get you anything." Well, I didn't buy this to get something from you. I wasn't expecting a spit handy or anything.
Right.
I was just getting it because I wanted to get it for somebody, and that's why I bought this. I didn't give a shit that if you bought me anything.
Well,
the presence of your presence, is all I need.
Yes, the airtime, I guess, too.
The airtime, yes.
There we go.
I get to be a shithead. Once a week.
So Brandon busts out. He has been hearing my cry because I've been wanting this thing for the past couple of months, and of course with my recent circumstances that will remain off air. That have happened. Things just didn't, shape up the way that I wanted them to with obtaining one of these. Santa Grills comes through with an air fryer. Woo!
Air fryer, best thing ever.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I've had one for a year now.
I am so I'm so looking forward to using this thing. Like, it's amazing. So
it fueled the Gear Network studio tonight with organic chicken wings.
That's right.
And they were delicious.
Yes, they were.
Ooh,
all right.
Sweet baby Ray's.
As part of the JC Money Show, I mean, like I said, with JC Money Show, it's Get Ready America without the other co-host. But we have also the Football Talk Weekly simulcast, so let's get to some football talk here.
Ooh.
And Brandon...
Do we have to?
Well, yes.
It's a sad, sad day, man.
Sad day. The bad man came back.
Yep.
And now the bad man
was rusty.
He was rusty. The Packers lost. They have been eliminated. That was our Super Bowl representation in the NFC. They're not even going to hit the playoffs.
Nope.
But
that's what happens when you lose your starting quarterback for 8 weeks.
Yes. That was a tough one for them.
I think what really hurt the most was the loss to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Even though it was a game they shouldn't have even, by all rights, even been in. They were in and should have finished and didn't finish. And it's what kind of sucks. Penguins winning the shootout.
There you
go. That's one they should have finished. Was hoping it was going to get to overtime because they had the juice, but it just didn't finish that way. So, they're done.
Yeah, they're done. I mean,
and it was a microcosm of our season. It was close on everything.
Right.
If they get down, they're going for the tying score. They get down to the 25-yard line. And Geronimo Allison fumbles.
Well,
it would have been a first down, a minute left.
Right.
Rodgers is going to get that in the end zone.
Right.
It sucks.
Well, at the very least, with this season lost, Aaron Rodgers on IR, he's going to have some extra time to rest.
Yeah.
And come back stronger
come
next
back
season.
an even better man next year.
Hopefully he comes back. He's an even better.
Hopefully he comes back to a new coaching staff. And
you're done with McCarthy.
I'm done with McCarthy. Only if he's unwilling to part with his coordinators. Dom Capers fucking needs to go.
Okay.
That guy, let me just talk about that guy for a bit.
Go ahead.
That guy pisses me off. We have had a really bad defense ever since the Super Bowl year. And the Super Bowl year, the only reason that defense was good was because Clay Matthews was a monster. Nick Collins is a Pro Bowler. Charles Woodson's a Hall of Famer. That's the reason that defense was any good, because they had the personnel to run his crazy defense where you can put guys out on an island. They had guys out on an island and they can cover. We have not had cover corners since that time. And if you go blitzing every other down, you're going to get burned.
Yeah,
if you don't have good corners.
It's the old man.
We haven't
the old
had
man strategy. You blitz, you just give the nice little toss up over
right.
it.
And that's what kept happening, and that's what keeps happening. And yet they keep giving them a shot every single fucking year. And the worst part is that we have let Pro Bowl talent walk out the door.
Mm-hmm.
We got one back this year, but he was gone for a few years, and his prime is gone now. He came back from Jacksonville. I keep wanting to say Tramon Williams, but it's not Tramon Williams. But they let two guys go, the second one of which just made a Pro Bowl as well. So the first one they let go was Casey Hayward. Last year, he led the fucking NFL in interceptions for the San Diego Chargers at that time. This year, he's a Pro Bowler again as an LA Charger, but also add Micah Hyde to the Buffalo Bills. He was up there in the interception totals because they actually let him play corner full time, unlike Green Bay did. Green Bay had him kind of subbing in when guys were hurt, kick returns, punt returns, kind of a slash guy. And then we let him go because they're like, we drafted some more guys, so we're going to let him go. And then he goes to Buffalo and he becomes a Pro Bowler.
Yeah.
I think it's time. Watching that Carolina game, they couldn't get after Newton. They kept trying, they kept blitzing, and then Newton would just find the open guy. I mean, the whole first drive, nobody was able to cover McCaffrey. Whole rest of the game, no one was able to cover Greg Olsen. The reason is because you can't run a double on anybody because you're sending that double on a blitz. And the blitz wasn't working. They need to go back to a 4-3. Dom Capers needs to go. They need better personnel. Ted Thompson, I'm good with him retiring too. The guy caught lightning in a bottle for a while when he was drafting good players. He got lucky with Aaron Rodgers. He got lucky with Clay Matthews. But besides that, his track record hasn't been great. He gets a couple good guys, good solid football players. Jake Ryan's a good football player. Blake Martinez is going to be a star. But other than that, I mean, we've let more draft picks and high draft picks go than we've kept. And and he will not chase free agents.
That's the thing.
That's the
always
thing that bothers me.
That's what's always baffled me about the Packers.
The biggest key of winning a Super Bowl in the Mike Holmgren era, when Ron Wolf was the guy, was the guy was a bit willing to make trades and pick up free agents.
Reggie White.
He got Brett Favre in a trade.
Brett Favre was in a trade.
He got Reggie White. He got Andre Rison. He got Desmond Howard.
Don
Beebe. All those guys were character guys and big parts of that Super Bowl winning team, that back-to-back team. They drafted some decent players, but they got free agents. This guy has gotten Charles Woodson. They won a Super Bowl with Charles Woodson. But since then,
that's
Julius Peppers. That was it.
Yeah, that's
Julius freaking Peppers. And then they get Martellus Bennett this year, and he's here for a cup of coffee.
Yeah, pretty much.
And he plays like dog shit, and then he fakes a shoulder injury and then goes to the Patriots.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And then he gets hurt again in New England. Whatever. I don't care. I don't care about that shit. But we don't go after talent, and we're squandering away probably one of the best quarterbacks of this generation.
Right.
By putting out a mediocre defense, having a real shit offensive line, because again, we let guys go. We let 2 guys go. 3 guys actually that are now Pro Bowlers with other teams. It just keeps happening, and yet every year it's like nuts and bolts because you bring in these rookies who aren't conditioned to the league. They get hurt, so you're into your second string, and then your third string, and then your fourth string, and then you got guys moving out of position.
It's one thing
every goddamn year.
It's one thing to, I guess, try to model yourselves after the Patriot way.
Right.
Because that's what the Patriots do. They don't really go out and get...
But they get free agents.
They get free agents, but they don't go after the high-priced, big, marquee free agents. They go after people that... They go after the,
They go after what makes
Chris
sense
Hogans
for the team,
of the world,
though.
You know what I mean?
But that makes sense for the team.
Right.
Those are Tom Brady guys.
But the Packers don't even do that.
No, they don't get anybody.
And
that's what's frustrating.
That's baffling to me because it's not like Green Bay is Cleveland.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, people want to go... I would think people would want to go to Green Bay to play football.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Guys don't want to leave when they get there. They sign contracts and stay.
It's aside from the Bills, let's in comparison with the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
Let's just say fan comparison, not mafia or anything like that. They don't do to my knowledge.
But they're loyal and they travel better than probably any other team in the league.
Right. They are extremely loyal.
Right.
And no matter what,
everywhere.
no matter how like in Buffalo, no matter how shitty their team is, they still come out and they still support them. And Green Bay is like that. So the whole town shuts down. That was the whole stigma.
Yeah.
If you go back to some of the NFL films of the early 60s and stuff.
You can go to now when there's playoff games.
Well, right.
You see the snow and there's footprints leading the stadium, but everything is shut down.
Right.
Nobody's at the bars.
Right.
Nobody's at restaurants. Nobody's at the store.
Everybody's at the game.
Everybody's at the game or they're watching it at home.
Right. And that's how it was. And I go back to the NFL championship game. I think it was 1962 or 3. I have it on DVD, but it was the Giants against the Packers.
Yeah.
And they were talking about how even back then, for the games, the town is like a ghost town.
Right.
And it's still so I mean,
people will go there. It's just we never will say, "Hey, we're going to go and get this guy." We don't go after those guys. We don't try to sign people and then people go, no, I don't want to come there. People want to come to Green Bay. They're just not being invited. And that's the problem.
Right.
And that's Ted Thompson's system.
You remember when
Ted Thompson doesn't draft needs.
Right.
He drafts the best available player.
You remember when Randy Moss said he wanted to go there?
Right.
And he wanted to go there and play with Brett Favre specifically.
Right.
And then they didn't do anything
They didn't do anything about it.
And then he ended up going to New England.
Right.
Because it was right after the Oakland season.
Right.
And he ended up going to New England. And then what happened there?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
sets a record.
Exactly. So and just think that was in a season 2 where the Packers were, a couple of plays away from going to the Super Bowl that year as well. So
sorry, I'm looking at this. The Knicks are beating the Celtics by 5 right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at the production here, and I'm looking like Jason Tatum 6 and 9, 14 points. Having a good night. Irving's a little off. He's got 23 points, but he's like 9 of 21 shooting.
Right.
Then I'm looking, I'm like, why is the Knicks leading? And I look, I was like, Porzingis must be going off. Porzingis in 23 minutes is 0 for 11 from the field with 1 point.
Good God.
The guy's getting carried by Michael Beasley right now.
0 for 11.
0 for 11 for Porzingis, the unicorn.
Good Lord.
And he's going up against Al Horford. Like, Al Horford's not a lockdown guy. It's weird.
Horford.
But anyways, yeah, it's really frustrating. You don't think people want to come play with Brett Favre. And then it's like, yeah, well, we're not going to sign that guy.
Yeah.
Then he goes to New England. You don't think people are going to be like, hey, I want to go play with Aaron Rodgers. Even if they're on the defensive side of the ball, they're like, hey, I want to be on the team that Aaron Rodgers is on because it's going to make our job as a defender even easier. Because that guy's going to put up points. And if we can make marginal stops, we're going to win games. It's just very frustrating. It's even more frustrating to have it happen the way it did.
Right.
To have the fucking Vikings, who are having a great season with some horse's ass backup, Case Keenum, are having a great season, but they're having a great season at the expense of knocking out Rodgers.
Right.
Because they wouldn't be there.
Right.
If it was Rodgers, we'd be battling down for the end of the season.
I mean, they might still be there, but they'd be neck and neck.
Yeah, they'd be neck and neck is what I'm saying.
Right.
Like, they wouldn't be just like, hey, we're wrapped up the division. No, you would be in a dogfight, and this game next week, this Saturday actually, would be for probably the division.
Right.
But instead, our guy gets hurt, and life goes on.
Now you'll see Teddy Bridgewater second half.
Yeah.
If that.
I don't know. I think they're gonna have a little pride. I think they'll come out and
Wait,
play.
they're locked in, obviously, to the division, but they're not locked into the home field, are they?
They're not even locked into a first-round bye yet.
Oh, okay.
They got to win this week.
They would have to.
Yeah, they're going to have everybody in, but it's going to be in Lambeau, so...
You know what else is going to have everybody in? Patriots.
Yep.
When they play the Bills.
Let's go on to that.
So that is...
I feel bad for the Bills, man.
That's an interesting one for me.
This is a Billsy thing.
It really is.
They're on the cusp. This is the closest they have been to a playoff spot. Like, they're sitting there with it in their reach. Like, they control their own destiny.
If they win out, they're in.
This is the first time they've controlled their own destiny. I mean, the Marone time when they got in there and they got close, they didn't really control their own destiny. They needed to win out. And they needed to win 3 games and get some help to get in that year. This year, they need to win 2 games, and they're in. It doesn't matter what anyone else does. They are in the playoffs. But then they got to face the Patriots this week.
Right. And then
New England.
And then the Dolphins the next week, which, again...
Here's what sucks for them.
Which Dolphins team would you get?
Yeah, this is what sucks for the Bills. And this is where it really hurts. Is the fact that if Miami doesn't lose that game to New England, New England doesn't lose that game to Miami, and then Miami loses to that game to New England goes and beats the Steelers the next week, they don't have to play. They pretty much they have home field locked up because they have a win more than the Steelers.
Right.
And even if they lose, they're still going to be tied to the Steelers. And they'll have the tiebreaker over the Steelers.
That's true. Brady does hate the Bills, though, so
yeah,
he might have gone in there to.
Yeah, I think they're going to beat the shit out of him because I think they're going to be pissed about the whole Gronk thing.
Yeah.
The last time they played, I think Gronk getting frustrated, and
I'm waiting to see
on that guy.
That's what I'm waiting to see. I'm waiting to see if there's
any sort ugly.
If there's any sort of retaliation.
It's going to be rough. It's going to suck, but then at the same point. They still, if they get some losses this weekend, they could still get in the playoffs by beating Miami in Miami the final week of the season. Well, even if they lose to New England this week.
If they lose to New England, they still have to beat Miami, but they would need, I believe, Tennessee to lose too.
Tennessee has got a horrible last 2 games.
Yeah.
They've got the Rams. And they got the Jaguars.
And then where does Baltimore fit in on all of this?
Baltimore fits in where Baltimore can get in.
I believe they have the same record.
They have the same record, but the Bills have a better win percentage versus the conference. Better conference. Better conference, I think, is what they got in. But let me check this real quick, because I know that they can get in winning out, and they got an easy schedule.
Well, I know, that's what I was going to say next, was that the Ravens have a very easy schedule. Yeah, the Ravens have the
Colts this week.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, and then next week they have... who do they have? Where are they? Where's the Ravens? I'm so used to ignoring that team.
Yes, indeed.
They have the Bengals.
Oh, Lord. All right.
New Year's Eve.
Okay.
The other teams that are chasing that are still in the hunt on the AFC side is Baltimore. Tennessee could seriously lose out. But then here comes the problem for Buffalo. Tennessee loses out, and they're 8-8. Okay, and Buffalo's 9-7.
Okay.
But if Baltimore's 10-6, Baltimore's in.
Mm-hmm.
Then that last playoff spot comes down to the Chargers.
Right.
If the Chargers win their last 2 games, they will be 9-7, and they win the tiebreak.
They've got Bryce Petty and the Jets this week, so that's a lock for them.
They've got that. Well, that's not always a lock, because, I mean, they did lose to the Browns last year.
But not this year.
So they got them, and then their last game for the Chargers is Oakland. In LA, with a playoff spot possibly on the line. So
probably Oakland fans will all be there.
They've got to root for either a loss by Baltimore inexplicably to one of those 2 terrible teams, or they got to hope for a loss by LA. I want to say San Diego all the time, but it's LA.
I think the Chargers franchise...
I think the Titans are pretty much toast.
You think so?
They're not going to beat the Rams this week. I mean, they lost to the 49ers last week.
And the Rams are going to
beat them, and the Rams are trying to get that number 1 overall seed.
Yeah.
They're 1 game behind Minnesota and 2 behind Philly, but they own a tiebreak versus Philly.
Okay.
So
they're going to play. They're going to play hard.
They're going to play hard. And then
Tennessee has Jacksonville week 17.
And Jacksonville, Jacksonville's pretty good. They're in, I think.
Yeah, no, they're in.
Jacksonville's in.
They are in, but I don't know.
They don't clinch the division yet.
Right now, Jacksonville is 10-4.
Playoff berth. They haven't clinched the division yet because they have that game against Tennessee.
Right.
So you probably chalk those up. So I think Tennessee's probably out of it.
Okay.
So it's going to come down to if Buffalo can win both games, they're in. Doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
The more likely scenario is they're going to need win, and they're going to need probably a Chargers and Tennessee losses.
All right.
Well, because they don't even own the tiebreak over Tennessee. So Tennessee needs to lose. I saw some crazy thing. It was like Tennessee needs to lose against the Rams, or win against the Rams, but lose against Jacksonville. And I'm like, well, they're not going to win either of those. And they're like, well, that's bad because what Bills need is a 3-way tie for that last position, and they would win over San Diego or LA and the Titans. So they need that to happen. It's just not going to happen.
All right.
It's not going to happen.
Well, I'll tell you this.
Bills fans need it.
They need it.
If they get it, I'll start wearing the Kelly jersey since my team's out. If not, I'm strapping on the Goats jersey. I got the Goats jersey in my closet too. I almost wore it tonight.
I do have the Bills hat. Not on now, but I will be wearing that, especially if they're playoff bound, because I believe.
I kind of want to go villain though this week. I want to go heel Brandon and throw on my Tom Brady jersey.
Very apropos. Use the term heel on the JC Money Show portion of it.
Yep.
All right. With that, you hump. We're gonna go take a break, and we'll be right back with NFL quick hits and some more chizats here on the JC Money Show Football Talk Weekly Simulcast. Yes, and that too. Stick around. IndyCard Media is your one-stop shop for quality designs at a quality price. They offer merchandising, company branding, event posters, custom clothing designs, and so much more. Check out their gallery of past designs by visiting facebook.com/IndyCard Media and tell them what you think. That's IndyCard Media, 337-446-4331 or IndyCardMafia@gmail.com. Tell them that we sent you. Again, 337-446-4331. IndyCard Media. Bring your designs to life. Welcome back, everybody, to the JC Money Show / Football Talk Weekly Podcast Simulcast. Again, here we go. Christmas time is here, of course. And hey, for your after Christmas, because the day after Christmas is still dope for shopping. Mm-hmm. So go to facebook.com/Gear Network, sign yourself up for a Target Red Card, and you save 5% off of your purchases.
You can.
Using the Target Red Card. And, of course, it helps Gear Network out as well. So, yes, we appreciate it. Thank you very much. And, yes, that's that. Christmas time is here, ladies and gentlemen. Already.
Yeah.
I feel like 2018, I
got to do my Christmas on Sunday.
Yeah?
My kids, yeah. Because that's the ex's year to get them on Christmas Day. So I get them Christmas Eve, and they'll do the Christmas Eve morning thing at my house, like it's Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And then I drop them off later that evening to the ex, and then she has the kids, and then they'll do Christmas there.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll go see a movie on that day.
There you go.
That's what I do every year I don't have the kids.
Perfect.
Movies.
Perfect. Yeah, I just drink.
Yeah, it's also good. I mean, I'm going to do that later. I'll be at my family's, so.
There you go.
I'm going to ring the wall button.
Very good.
Be like,
yes.
Hey, where's your girlfriend? I'll be like,
China.
Yeah, she's in China.
She's in China. Be like, what are you doing? And I'll be like, wrong.
The wall button.
I got a wall button.
Yes, well, last week you mentioned
I kind of want to open
one.
this thing, and I want to see if it's a recordable thing. I want to get better quality shit.
I would think it'd have to be.
Yeah.
It's got to be some sort of recording thing.
Yeah, it's got to be.
But, of course, you could always mess with it.
I could.
It was cheap enough, right?
Yeah, it was $10.
All right.
The wall.
You do me a favor. Hit the button again.
You are fake news.
Perfect. Speaking of, all right, well, let's go to NFL quick hits then. Are you ready?
Michael Beasley straight up fucking killed us tonight.
Brandon, are you ready for this one? Here we go. Here we go. Stop me if you've heard this already, but there are rumors, Brandon.
Yes.
That WWE owner Vince McMahon wants to reboot the XFL. And apparently now it is more than just rumors, because today, as in Thursday, the day that we're recording this podcast, the WWE revealed to the Securities and Exchange Commission that McMahon has sold close to $100 million worth of WWE stock, and that he did so to, quote, primarily fund a separate entity from the company, which is called Alpha Entertainment LLC, which Mr. McMahon established to explore investment opportunities across the sports and entertainment landscapes, including professional football. Now, he recently refiled for the trademarks of the XFL, the XFL teams, URFL, and the UFL, the United Football League. So he got the trademarks for all of those.
Does he hate me going to be coming back as a coach?
I don't know. But they were talking about it being rumored, and now it seems to
I could see him having like a WWE styled like pregame starting up, and like a guy's kneeling, and he goes, "You stand! You stand, you son of a bitch!"
McMahon, of course, has said nothing publicly about his plans for a new league or when it could start play. He did announce his plans for the first version of the XFL in early 2000, and that league began play in early 2001, so perhaps McMahon will announce a XFL 2.0 in early 2018 and begin play in 2019. Brandon's Las Vegas Hitmen will be back. And speaking of one of Brandon's favorite things, the CEO of Papa John's is on the way out 2 months after criticizing the NFL
PPJ.
over the national anthem controversy. Papa John himself, John Schnatter, the pizza chain's founder, will step down next month, the company announced on Thursday. He's going to remain the chairman, but Chief Operating Officer Steve Ritchie will assume chief executive duties on the first of the year. So
he's fired.
He owns more than 100 Papa John's stores and has appeared in commercials, and of course, famously was kissed by Peyton Manning after Peyton's final Super Bowl win.
Yeah, whatever.
Moving on, even though Larry Fitzgerald signed a one-year extension last month that takes him through the end of the 2018 season, the Cardinals receiver isn't committed to returning next season.
He wants a quarterback.
He says, quote, "I don't know. I'm going to take some time, figure it out. I'll let you know, though." If Fitzgerald indeed calls it a career, he will play his last home game on Sunday. He vows, though, not to treat it any differently than he has his last 109 home games.
Yeah.
He has 1,217 career catches for 15,371 yards and 109 touchdowns.
Yeah.
The 34-year-old has left no doubt that he can still play.
Oh, yeah.
He has 92 catches for 982 yards
and he's had
5
Drew
touchdowns
Stanton throwing to him for half the season.
this season, with playing with 3 different quarterbacks.
Yeah. He's definitely going to the Hall. He's one of the best.
He is
one of the best ever.
Absolutely.
And he's a professional.
And he's a stand-up guy, too.
Never had troubles.
And fellow University Phoenix alumni. He is a Phoenix. Marshawn Lynch, who is not a Phoenix, but is awesome, was fined for his latest interaction with an official, but at least he gets to play this time. According to your boy, Brandon, Ian Rappaport of the NFL Network,
Lynch, my boy.
Lynch was fined $24,000 in change for unsportsmanlike conduct towards a referee. Now, okay, that's the news part of it. Did you see him get teabagged in that game?
I did. And he didn't like it very much.
That's terrible. That poor guy.
He went T-mode.
All right, and finally what I have here in this condensed version.
The Knicks are trying to throw this game away.
What?
They've 3 straight turnovers. It's now a 6-point game.
Oh, my God.
The Celtics have it with a timeout with 37 seconds left.
Jesus Christ. Oh, the Knicks. Fold the franchise. Neither Panthers linebacker Thomas Davis nor Packers wide receiver Devontae Adams will be playing this weekend.
Nope.
Thomas Davis was suspended for a helmet-to-helmet block on Adams in last Sunday's game.
For 2 games, and then
Adams in the concussion protocol.
Yeah.
He didn't practice on Tuesday or Wednesday, and Coach Mike McCarthy announced on Thursday that he will not be playing against the Vikings this weekend. While this news isn't surprising, but it's irritating because that was kind of a dirty move that Davis did to Adams. It does leave Brett Hundley without a receiver that he developed good chemistry with while he was filling in for Aaron Rodgers this season. Mm-hmm. Adams has 74 catches for 885 yards, 10 touchdowns, which are all just off the career highs he set while playing in all 16 games last season.
Yeah.
So that's...
Breaking news from the world of baseball.
Oh, go ahead.
Giants officially reach out to Jay Bruce, and both sides realize it's a perfect match.
Oh.
Jay Bruce may be coming to the Bay.
All right.
That'll be a nice little get.
And while we're on baseball news, in between last week and this week, Evan Longoria was traded from the Rays to the Giants.
To the Bay.
So,
at first I didn't like it. I'm kind of liking it now.
I don't mind it. I think it's a good move.
They needed some help there, but I'm hoping that we can get older Longoria than last year's Longoria. He was not great last year.
You mean younger Longoria?
Yeah, I mean like Longoria of old.
Yes.
Not Longoria of now.
Not a legitimately old Longoria. But yeah, okay.
I
don't know. I'm happy I got my other Florida boy, Giancarlo Stanton. Sorry, man.
Fuck you.
All right.
Fucking Agent Jeter over there.
Agent Jeter.
Everyone's in on it. You got fucking Manfred going over there. I had no idea that they were going to be going and dumping set. Get the fuck out of here, Manfred, you moron. I said right away they were going to cut payroll, you shithead.
Yep.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I will say this before we go.
Look the other way.
I'll say this before we go to our final commercial break. I said this first, and I will go on record and I will fight this tooth and nail. I did put this out there first, that if the New York Yankees go and win the 2018 World Series, they best give Derek Jeter his 6th ring.
Yeah.
Because
it's fucking disgusting. It's a complete joke.
Yes. But all right.
Kind of like our tax code.
Yes.
The rich keep getting richer.
Oh, we can talk about that in the final segment of this simulcast when we return after this. Hey everyone, John Cimino here for Amazon Prime. If you've thought of signing up for Amazon but were afraid to pull the trigger on that because it's $99 for a year and it's one flat price, even though there's awesome benefits to it, I got great news for you. Amazon has now given you a variety of options to try Prime. First of all, you can either try Amazon Prime Video for $8.99 a month, which is cheaper than Netflix, and it also gives you unlimited movies and TV shows, including HD, Ultra HD, and HDR when available at no additional charge. You can try Amazon Prime Monthly for $10.99 a month, which is equivalent to Netflix, but in addition, you'll get free 2-day shipping, unlimited movies, TV, and music streaming, access to over 1 million ebooks, free unlimited photo storage, and free same-day delivery in eligible areas. Perhaps those drones? Maybe, maybe not sure. Or if you're old school like me, you pay $99 a year annually, and you get all the benefits of Prime Monthly, plus you can save 25% with prepayment discount added. It's an added feature for you yearly folks. Don't think they forgot about you. You can go ahead to gearnetwork.com. That's GERE network.com. Click on our Amazon banner, our Amazon Prime banner, and we can hook you up with a free 30-day trial through us. This podcast does receive a special bonus if you sign up for Prime using us, and that's even if you don't keep it, but we think you will, because it's awesome, and if you shop Amazon frequently like I do, that free 2-day shipping is a lifesaver. As always, thank you for bookmarking and sharing our link at gearnetwork.com. Only one of the greatest Christmas songs ever, Brandon.
Yep.
Gotcha. You know, I didn't have Get Ready America all holiday season of blast Christmas music, and well, whatever. What a shit holiday season it's been, personally, man. Yeah, for both of us, really. But
Oh, I wouldn't go that far.
well,
I'm kind of living the life right now. I'm living the dream.
That's a good thing. All right, we are back once again. Final segment here of the JC Money Show. Football Talk Weekly simulcast, and we are sponsored by our friends at Draft. And hey, it's time. It's week 16. Get in where you could fit in. Play 1 week fantasy football league through Draft at draft.com/Gear Network. Enter the promo code Gear Network, and you folks can play one game for free. It's like Christmas
For free.
It's like Christmas in December, Brandon.
Oh.
You like that?
No.
Shut up. All right. And Dominic the Donkey.
Oh.
I love this song. This is my favorite Christmas song. Hey! All right, that's enough of that. So really, we are back here, and this is the bullshit portion of the
bullshit
of the show, and you know, we got a lot of good feedback regarding the simulcast format last week, which is why we're doing it again this week, which is pretty cool. You know, I think some of my wrestling fans were a little on the confused side because, you know, typically, historically,
why are they not talking about elbow drops?
Right. Well, I mean, you know, a lot of them know, you know, my wrestling fan
base.
My wrestling fan Twitter Twitter fan base, they know that my Twitter has morphed from specifically wrestling talk to sports to really now calling
the President of the United States a cunt every day.
Yes, calling him. I tell every day.
And you do it every day. It is Thursday, and Donald Trump is still a shitty president.
Yep.
It's Friday. We'll be coming tomorrow.
Yep. I have it all the way set through Christmas too. So those are preset.
Oh, nice.
Those are preset. I once a week I will go for the next week, and I will set them all out. So that's how I've been able to do them consistently at 8 a.m.
without
every
forgetting.
single day.
Okay.
Without forgetting, right. And then, of course, the calling him the C word comes just whenever I see somebody either retweet something of his or someone respond to something. Like the other day, Lewis responded to something about Trump, something Trump said.
Yeah.
And Lewis responded like, just do your fucking job and stop the goddamn Twitter already. And so I replied to Trump, and I must have tagged Lewis in it without realizing it. Either that or Lewis just saw it, because he told me the other day, he was like, so I was looking through the Twitter and I just randomly see real Donald Trump, you're a cunt. And I start laughing, and then when I go to look to see who did it, I was like, oh shit, it's Jay. And then I start laughing even harder because that's just you. So
they usually do show like your followers like responses sometimes to like threads, before you see other stuff.
Well, I think he was just scrolling fast, and then he saw real Donald Trump and the word cunt in the same sentence, and so he thought it was funny, and then he realized
like
it was
peanut butter and jelly,
and then it
just fits together.
So yeah, but the tax plan. That passed.
Yeah.
It was a Republican sausage fest.
They're just a bunch of rich assholes smiling and clapping, and it's completely confusing. I still don't think anyone has a real good handle on what's in it.
Well, they don't, because they rushed it.
It's not only that. I mean,
300 or 400 pages, I think.
Yeah, but reporters and tax policy advisors and people who study this kind of shit, I still don't think they have a full grasp on it. But it seems like every time there's new details and people have actually like looked at it, like the news gets worse every time. Like they find something in there like, well, that looks like shit. Mm-hmm. And well, that doesn't look good either. And oh, that looks like a screw job as well. And it's one thing to lie and like, bend the truth and stretch. It's another thing to like kind of just laugh it off like it's no big deal. Like, you get the president of the United States going out there going, this tax plan, I tell you, it's going to cost me a lot of money.
He's going to be saving $15
My accountant's
million.
going to be really upset with me.
Yeah.
But I don't care. I'm the president. Yeah. And they're like cheering him on, but they have no fucking clue that this guy stands to make a shit ton of money.
He's going to
from his businesses.
His businesses are going to be
He's double dipping.
$15 million.
Right. Because of the last minute loophole that went in there, and it got Bob Corker to sign on. Mm-hmm. Because he also owns business real estate as well. It's a loophole that allows you basically to claim the building that you own. As long as you own that building, you can write off the rent for it. Mm-hmm. So you can charge an abhorrent amount of money to yourself to rent that building.
Exactly.
And write that off. So not only do you get that money is not really being paid because it's going right back to your pocket, but also you're going to get the tax break on top of that. Mm-hmm. So they stand to make a shit ton of money, and then they lie to your face like, it's the greatest Christmas present you're ever going to get.
Right.
Really?
Right.
Really? Because I am not rich. I do well. And according to one of the tax calculators I saw, my taxes stand to go up 0.7%. Mm-hmm. I'm not getting a tax break for Christmas, so I can say this with authority. Fuck you, Donald Trump. Merry Christmas to you, too.
One of the things I saw yesterday, and it was being tweeted, retweeted, shared on Facebook, all over from Trump supporters, about Wells Fargo raising its minimum wage. Mm. And
there's a company that you want to look to for a standard.
I don't know why I got so irritated with that, so I started doing a little digging.
Yeah.
And I put out this status yesterday, not too long after the Wells Fargo news came out, with some statistics.
It's a company that needs damage control.
Right. And to my surprise, I did not receive a lot of hate for it. It was kind of like, oh, well, all right, I guess you got a point. Because when you put it like this, here it is. This is what I wrote, verbatim. I wrote, seeing articles about Wells Fargo raising its minimum wage to $15 an hour due to the Republican passed tax cut plan. That's wonderful to hear. Here are some things to point out first. Current minimum there is $13.50 per hour. Last year they had roughly 25,000 workers at that pay scale. So raising the minimum for those folks to $15 an hour comes at a cost of $80 million per year, and that's assuming that all of those employees are full-time.
Right.
Still sound cool? The estimated profit now, because of this Republican tax plan,
right?
The tax cut, rather, will be roughly $3.4 billion to Wells Fargo, which means more money for the already rich executives that donate to the super PACs to fund administrations like the current ones. In other words, Wells Fargo, of that entire $3.4 billion
Wells Fargo
profit,
of the phony accounts.
right, of the entire $3.4 billion that they will profit now,
Yeah.
is using 2% of that
Well,
to pay higher wages.
But on top of this, you can take that step further. Okay, so they just wrote, we're going to give $15 minimum wage to people. Great. But you know what? Giving that raise is going to get written off anyways, because you write those off. You claim your earnings after
Right.
your labor is paid.
Yes.
So you're going to have a lower amount of money that you're going to have taxable.
Yes.
But then you get to write it off. So, thanks? I guess.
Right.
$1.50 an hour sounds cool, but honestly, today in these economic times, $15 is not that much money an hour. It just is not. I used to make like $15 an hour, and I struggled like a motherfucker, and that was during a time where $15 kind of meant something.
Yep.
I do all right now. I make more than double what their minimum wage is going to be, but I'm not fucking living in gold-plated, mansions or anything. I'm living in a fucking small 3-bedroom home.
Living in America.
And I just got a tax increase. It's a sham because they have this idea, and Wells Fargo's proving their point. And this is a ha-ha, nudge, nudge, wink, wink point being proven, by the way.
Of course it is.
That this is exactly what they're talking about by passing this. That all companies are going to do this. All companies are going to go, wow, I've got a big tax break. I'm going to invest it in my workforce, and I'm going to pay them more, and I'm going to hire more people. The problem with that is it doesn't happen. Historically,
Right.
When money is gained by people who already have shit tons of money, they do not turn around and reinvest it in the economy.
Exactly.
And the reason the economy has these blips and breakdowns after tax breaks is because that money doesn't go anywhere. George W. Bush gave out a lot of tax breaks during his time.
I remember.
Nothing this major sweeping overhaul of the entire tax code as this one is, but it was big tax breaks. And they continued to add tax breaks, and then they realized that, like, oh, we're still not moving, so let's give out some stimulus money. Let's do this. They did all these things to get it moving, but the thing is when you focus your agenda on that top earner, because they're a smaller population, so giving them a 10% decrease in their taxes doesn't hurt the federal government as much as putting a 10% decrease on average workers, because the average worker makes up such a huge part of the pie, the pie that is bringing in your tax revenue. The issue is that those people that get that don't go hand it off. They keep it.
Right.
They don't reinvest it.
Right.
They might, we'll add some new machines and we'll add this. But the problem is that you keep squeezing the people in the middle class, and you're not giving them that much more.
Right.
What is this company going to do? Make more shit that nobody's going to buy because nobody can afford it?
Right. Right.
Things are doing well right now. People are employed in general.
Right.
But when the purse strings have to be pulled back again because we start facing another recession.
And it's inevitable.
It's inevitable because
point.
Everything is ebb and flow. We never roar forever. It doesn't matter who's in office. We never stay low forever. It's ebbs and flows. It goes up high, and then it starts to come back down. Right now, we're hanging around the high point. We're not that far above. He likes to tout that there's so much.
Right.
First of all, this dipshit doesn't realize that the stock market is not part of the economy.
Right.
The stock market is not the economy.
Right.
The government doesn't get money from the stock market.
Right.
They're not getting contributions from the stock market. So the stock market's doing really well. This idiot thinks that money is going to go help towards the deficit. It's not going to help towards the deficit because that's money that people made off the stock market. That's money that they walk away with. The stock market's doing well. But job figures are about what they were, or lower in some cases, than they were when the last president was in office. We're doing well, but that well will end at some point.
Okay.
And when you have all these companies and they have products that are not being bought any longer because people start to lose their job in different sectors and they're kind of pinching their pennies and they can't buy shit, then companies start laying people off. So that's when the effect becomes larger and larger and larger. These guys aren't going to produce more because no one's buying it. So they're going to lay people off to continue to make the money that they make.
Exactly.
We don't get through an economic downtime where rich guys go, you know what? I'm worried about my workers, so I'm going to lose some money this year, and I'm going to keep these people on even though we're not, selling what we need to sell. No, they slash their workforce to maintain their high profits.
Hi, Verizon. How you doing?
They maintain their bottom line. They don't give a shit about their employees, and they cut people loose, and this happens every single time. If you want perfect evidence of why a tax cut for a rich person is not going to make them go and say, you know what, I have 12% more now in my tax rate. I'm going to invest 12% into my workers. No, you're not going to. No. You may present 1% or 2%.
2% like Wells Fargo.
Yeah, 2%, but you're going to keep the other 10%. And that's 10% that's not going into government programs. That's not going into what we're going to have to be cutting next year, which is Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security.
Things that Trump said. Need. Things that Trump said he would not cut, so he would be going back on a promise.
He will be doing it. He will be doing it.
Absolutely.
He's delaying signing the bill right now because those cuts won't go into effect until 2019 if he signs it in January. He doesn't want those cuts to go into effect now by signing the bill now. So once those spending cuts go into effect, the tax cuts can start right now. Doesn't have to sign it for that. We can make that a law right now. But the spending cuts that are supposed to offset it, they're going to put those into effect the year after to make sure that there's not a slaughter in 2018 for the dumb folk who doesn't look at the fact that, hey, seniors, your Medicare, your Medicaid, and your Social Securities are going to be cut because they're part of the spending cuts that are here to offset these massive tax cuts. You're about to find out that, but you won't find that out until you've already pulled the lever if you don't research it. So if people are smart, they'll go out and they'll say, hey, guess what? I got to look this up because this tax cut thing seems a little sketchy to me. They're saying that it's not going to hurt the deficit, but it is going to hurt the deficit and the debt, the national debt. But it's also going to hurt us, too, because they're going to have to cut somewhere. And they're not going to cut military spending.
Right.
They're not going to cut, corporate programs. They're not going to cut those kind of things. They're going to cut Social Security,
right?
Medicare, Medicaid,
and again, it's
education.
Things that Trump
things that
said.
The average person needs.
Absolutely.
But we cannot get because again, we keep hiring these fucking idiots who go in there and saying, "Oh yeah, we're going to give you a big tax cut, buddy. You're going to get a great tax cut, huge tax cut." And people are going to be like, "Oh, I'm so grateful for this $80 a month I got." Meanwhile, that's going to go away in 10 years. You're not going to get that $80 and it's going to dwindle every year because they're going to expire in 10 years.
Yep.
The corporate tax cuts, that 12% that Wells Fargo got, guess what? That's permanent. That's forever. There's no dwindling. It's not going to drop year by year. It's going to be 12%. So they invested 2% this year.
Yep.
Next year they get 12%. And the year after that they get 12%. And the year after that they get 12%. So don't be fooled by these little sleight of hand tricks, especially by a company like Wells Fargo that has been in the news for fucking over people covertly.
The beacon of positivity and whatever.
It's bullshit.
Whatever.
It
really is.
It really bothers me because people are so obsessed with winning.
All they hear is that, and then
we won.
And then the even lesser intelligent people hear tax cut.
Right.
I'm getting something.
Right.
Holy shit.
I'm gonna see my paycheck is bigger. Whoop-de-fucking-do.
Right.
They don't see other people's paychecks.
They don't see it. They don't.
And this is what I've always said, and this is why when people like get out there and go, "Oh, class warfare, class warfare." Well, here's the problem: it is class warfare, and it's not warfare against the rich. People are pissed off about the rich, but I've always said this: middle class people, average Joes, you know who they're most pissed off? They're most pissed off at the poor, because they work their asses off to just get enough to get by. And then they look at the poor getting shit for free. And that's where they get angry.
Right.
They don't get angry they get angry at the fact that the person in front of them in line is getting free groceries and is talking on a free phone.
Right.
While you got to do your shit and handle your business and you're just getting enough to get by. They focus their anger on that. They want to drug test for welfare and they want to do all these things.
Right.
But yet the people that are signing your checks are robbing you fucking blind, and they're taking more and more every single time. And yet I'm mad about an Obama phone.
You know
You're mad about an Obama phone, but your boss just made $4.2 billion in tax cuts.
Right. You know what
That burns my ass.
I've always thought this. It really does. It burns mine too, because here you see the big CEOs when the big corporations, and I won't name names of corporations or whatever, but when they have their big kickoff events and things like that, and you see them rolling in sports cars and we made record profits, and then you actually go on and you research what these CEOs made, and it's astounding to me. And then those guys get those big tax cut breaks. If it was reversed, and let's say you gave big tax cut breaks to somebody making $30,000 a year, $40,000 a year, whatever, okay?
Right.
You give big tax cuts to them. They get an extra $1,000, $2,000 or whatever. Those are going to be the people that are more apt to spend it back into the economy, because they don't make enough money to spend frivolously and get the things that they want.
Right.
It's back.
You can only buy so many TVs and cars.
Right. It's ass backwards mentality.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, and here's the part of it too is that
tell me I'm wrong for thinking that.
No, you're not. And here's the other part that piggybacks on that. So you see somebody and you say, "Oh, well, you know what? We need to cut taxes across the board 10%." Cool. So 10% of $1 million is $10,000. Or $100,000, right? 10% of $1 million is $100,000.
10% of $1 million is $100,000.
Right.
Yes.
10% of $30,000 is $300. You gave somebody else $100,000 and telling somebody else that got $300 to be happy with your 10%.
Right.
Percentages don't add up.
No, they do not.
So when you don't need tax cuts for middle class. You need better pay. You need these fuckers that you just gave a 12% total fucking tax cut for the rest of their time being, to make them go and say, you got to invest in your fucking workers. Because your workers, you just gave somebody $15 an hour minimum wage. Whoop-de-fucking-do. That's a speck on the giant ass of that company. That means nothing to them. That's pissing money. Okay? You have the majority of the population is doing the purchasing, the buying of your products, the buying of homes, the buying of restaurant foods, going out to restaurants, chains restaurants, fast food restaurants, pizza joints, grocery stores are normal, everyday people. Those people need better pay, not tax cuts. An extra $40 a paycheck does not move the needle for anybody. It's nice to have. You might be able to go out to dinner once a month. Great. I saw a thing the other day. If you get a $1,000 tax cut or $900 tax cut as a middle class person, that's enough to get you 7 months worth of gas. If you're a rich person in this higher tax bracket and you get your cut, you make enough to get a Bentley S-Class, paid for with just your tax cut. Mm-hmm. That's the disparity. That's what people don't realize.
Right.
People look at percentages and like, well, they're only getting 5%. Yes, 5% of $1 million is 1 billion times more than what you're fucking getting.
Right, exactly.
Because you don't make enough to get that tax cut.
Exactly.
You can get a 20% tax cut. It doesn't matter because if you're getting 3% on the other one, guess what? They still got a shit ton more money.
Exactly.
And they're going to keep that money.
Right.
It's not going back to you.
And what they don't hope for is people like you, me, whatever, knowing that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And
well, they don't. That's the problem.
And that's the problem, especially with stereotypical supporter.
We have fucking people in this country that look out for rich people's tax cuts over a fucking fast food worker. People scream, how are you going to give that asshole $20 an hour? $20 an hour is not that great of a fucking wage. And if you're pissed off working at your skilled labor job and making less than a fast food worker is, you want to fucking be pissed at your boss, not the fucking fast food worker that's saying, hey, I want a livable fucking wage.
Right.
Don't get pissed at them.
Right.
Get pissed at your boss. Because your boss should be like, well, if they're paying fast food workers $20 an hour and you're my skilled labor, I should be paying you $30. But they won't because they keep going, here, you take that money. Exactly. I guess I'll keep that money. Exactly. Tax cuts don't matter to the middle class.
Exactly.
Because they pay the majority of the taxes in this country.
Yeah.
So they can only give you so much.
Right.
You're still paying a shit ton of money.
Yep.
Towards our government spending.
Yep.
They need to give people more money.
It's sad.
People need more money. Mm-hmm. The wealth distribution needs to be better. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that we all need to be rich. You still can be a millionaire, billionaire even. Mm-hmm. Billionaires are going to still exist. Mm-hmm. Billionaires are going to do better. If you give your employees more money, that's more money they're going to spend on your shit. Mm-hmm. And that's more money coming back to you.
Exactly.
If you give somebody 10% raise, okay? Give them a 10% raise. That's going to mean a lot to them. And and you give all those people 10% raise, and everybody's getting 10% raises, 15% raises. And they're putting that money back in the economy, and they're buying your shit. Guess what? Your profits are up 40%. So you netted 25% of what you wouldn't have had before. So you're already rich as fuck. Mm-hmm. Give a little bit back more. Yeah. But they won't. The way they give back more and keep getting your votes is by going, oh, we'll give you a 4% tax cut.
They're just
tax cut. Thank you.
They're reeling them in.
Yeah,
that's all they're doing.
I mean, even these websites, it's embarrassing. Even these news sites are showing like the brackets, but they only go up to 500,000 on their site.
Right.
They don't want to show you what everyone else is getting.
Right.
And they go, oh well, they're not getting that great of a tax cut. They're only getting like 7%. 7% of $1 million is a lot of fucking money.
Yes, it is.
It's a lot of fucking money.
Yes, it is. Yes,
compared to my 7% making $35,000 a year.
Yep.
It's embarrassing.
It is.
It's embarrassing, and you rubes keep falling for it.
Yep.
Because they stand up to the flag, and they're against guys kneeling, and they're against this and that, and they're going to work for you, and they're going to be there. They're not there for you. They don't give a shit about you. They don't give a shit about you. They're all in closed doors, drinking Cristal, high-fiving each other, and talking about how they got more money coming. All those fucking senators, all those congressmen, they all are businessmen.
Donald Trump, the man who was not taking a salary as president.
Right. He doesn't need to because he's got other ways to make money.
He's got other ways to make money.
This is how you make money.
Offshore accounts.
No, it's not even that. It's just this tax cut alone makes up, it's like 50 times his normal salary.
Pretty much.
As president of the United States. So again, you keep going there and call me a libtard. Call me a lib, call me all these stupid names, call me a sheep. The sheep is you.
The sheep.
You are the goddamn sheep.
Yep.
You are not even the Trump supporters, Republican voters. Mm-hmm. They go, every time they go and vote against their own interests. Mm-hmm. Healthcare is expensive. What do they want to do? Make it more expensive.
But Jesus healed the sick.
Right. Tax cuts. For rich people, doesn't help you much. You're not going to get out into the next class by getting a 4% tax cut. Mm-hmm. You're not going to be able to move out of your apartment because you've got 4%. If you get $900 a year, I mean, what is that going to do for you? That's a month's rent for a year you just gained.
Yeah.
You got a free month's rent.
Woo!
Congratulations. Mm-hmm. You don't have to pay rent for a month.
All right.
But you gotta save the whole year for that 1 month. You got to pay the other 11.
Right.
By month 12, you should have that $900 saved.
Hey, there you go.
But again, they go in there and they vote against their own interest in the fact of the matter that they have to be on a side.
All
you
right.
have to pick a side.
Wall button me, bro.
I'm sorry, I can rant about this for
Oh, I
fucking
know,
hours.
and you know what?
Shit makes me angry.
We may very well just do the simulcast again next week, or just maybe just make it the format entirely.
I don't care.
But no, I've definitely enjoyed this, and yes, you're right. I could
Send me your angry tweets.
I could listen
at
to this,
Brandon Escarell
and I could keep
on
fueling
Twitter.
it. I could keep fueling it if I wanted to, and maybe I will next week. But
Maybe.
you know what? Thanks for everybody. Thank you.
That's not even alcohol fueled, by the way.
What's
This
that?
is like sober fueled.
Yes, this is
alcohol fueled. Fuck that, man.
Oh, we'll wait till we start doing Friday nights.
They'd be like, you want to be able to take your wall button and shove it up your ass. I'm going to keep talking for 3 more hours.
All right, thanks everybody for tuning in to the JC Money Show Football Talk Weekly Simulcast. And go ahead, Brandon. There you go. Of course, we always say, please help us out. Support our sponsors, Amazon.com, or rather Shopgear.com, which is Amazon.
I want some angry tweets. Give me some tweets.
Give Brandon angry tweets.
Come on. Call me a libtard.
You can send all your angry tweets about Brandon to at Mr. LG Perez. All right. So with that, this show is concluded. Brandon,
Send them to the pizza man.
Brandon, thank you very much for the sweet Christmas gift, and
You're welcome,
and
dude.
Have a very Merry Christmas.
You as well, sir.
And to all of you, thank you all so very much for the support throughout the year. We will be back with one more podcast before the year ends, with a recap and probably more shenanigans.
2017.
And so a safe and a happy holiday, Christmas, Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate.
Hanukkah.
Be safe. Don't do anything stupid.
Boxing Day.
So long, everybody. Good night now.
Remember to see more National Football League action next week.
The recognized symbol of excellence in sports entertainment.
The preceding presentation has been brought to you by the Gear Network.